In this video, you are going to understand everything you need to know about equations, specifically equations involving one unknown. Did you know that there are 6 categories of equations with one unknown that you need to know and to understand in this video? We are going to cover all of them in this video. And let us dive in very fast. Please, if you like the channel, please consider subscribing and sharing with your friends such that we all understand together. Let us dive in the first category. The first category of equations with unknown resembles those that you have ever seen. For example, we'll always focus on linear equations. And now here we have part A and part B. Let us see how we do them. Now, to deal with such equations, we do the normal thing. Since it is a linear equation, we just simplify. So we have 2x plus, we expand the bracket, becomes 3x minus 3 is equal to 4x plus 2. Now these equations are one of the simplest in this category. So when you sum up the x, you have 5x minus 3 is equal to 4x plus 2. Now collecting like terms as usual, when a negative crosses an equal sign and a positive crossing an equal sign, you have 5x minus 4x is equal to 3 plus 2x. Simplifying, we end up having x as 5. As simple as that. So it's so cheap. It's one of the cheapest. Now simplifying our b, you can cross multiply or use any method that you know very well. So cross multiplying is easy. So you have 6 into x plus 5 is equal to 5 into x minus 1. So when you expand, we shall have 6x plus 30 is equal to 5x minus 5. So when you collect like terms together and simplifying, we end up having 6x minus 5x is equal to negative 30 minus 5. So when you simplify, we have x as negative 35. So these are simple to deal with, and that is how you deal with them. The second category of equations with one unknowns are the quadratic equations. Those equations whose highest power in the equation is 2. And here we have A and B. And let us see how we do them. There are several ways of solving the quadratic equation, and quadratic formula proved that it can handle majority of them. Now to solve part A, this is category 2. You can use any method that you want. We are using the quadratic formula where we have A as 2, B as negative 11, and C as 12. So we want to use the quadratic formula. So you have negative b plus or minus the square root of b square minus 4ac out of 2a. To always be on the safe side, quadratic formula is recommended, but others also work. So we substitute in, you have x as negative into negative 11 plus or minus square root of negative 11 squared minus 4 into 2 into 12. Now over 2 into 2. So simplifying, we have our x equal to 11 plus or minus the square root of, when you simplify what is inside there, we have root of 25 out of 4. So therefore, our either x is equal to 11 plus 5 out of 4, which root of 25 is 5, or x is equal to 11 minus 5 over 4. So either x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 3 out of 2. So don't forget that the 5 we are getting it from root of 25, which gives us 5. So here using the same, a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 3, and then c is equal to negative 5. So we are using the same method. So this is how you solve the category 2. Category 2 is a quadratic equation category. So we substitute in, you have negative into negative 3 plus or minus negative 3 square minus 4 into 1 into negative 5 everything over 2 into 1. So by simplification, our x is 3 plus or minus. So far, if you're understanding up to this level, you can give us a like. Yeah, so either x, you can give us a like. Please like this video. It is so helpful, and share it with your friends such that they can understand. So x is equal to, so we have two values of x. So 3 plus root of 29 out of 2, then 3 minus root of 29 out of 2. So therefore, x can be approximated when you place the calculator. Yeah. So we have x as 4.19 to 2 decimal places, or x is equal to negative 1.19 to 2 decimal places, but you are recommended to use more than that decimal places. So when you solve all that, you are actually in category 2. The third category of equations with the unknown resembles these ones, and they are always like these. Equations where some parts of it are the same, and this is how we do such equations when you find them. Now, when you find such equations in category 3, you focus so much on the parts that are similar. Yeah, we have x squared plus 2x and then x squared plus 2x down. So we let that part which is similar to be something. Now in this case, m is equal to x squared plus 2x. So after letting it for simplification, we go ahead and replace it. So m, where there is x squared plus 2x, we put m over m is equal to 0. So you have m minus 4 plus 2 out of m is equal to 0. So you cross multiply, you have m squared minus 4m plus 2 is equal to 0. So it's a quadratic equation now. So you go ahead to simplify it using all methods you want. So using factorization, you have m minus 3 into m minus 1 is equal to 0. So we come and say either m minus is equal to 3 or m is equal to 1. So it's the other m minus 3 equal to 0 or m minus 1 is equal to 0. So you have m is equal to 3 or m is equal to 1. So we come and say when m is equal to 3, so the other x squared plus 2x is equal to 3. So x squared plus 2x is equal to 3. So it's another quadratic. So x squared plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we go ahead to solve our quadratic equation using any method still that you want. So here we shall have, solving it, we shall have x plus 3 into, using factorization, into x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we come and say either our x, so it's our x plus 3 is equal to 0, or our x minus 1 is equal to 0. So either x is equal to negative 3 or our x is equal to 1. So we have the values of x for the first case. So we go to the second case. When m is equal to 1, we shall have x squared plus 2x. So this is how you battle such a number and you clear it. You just look at those similar parts and then you deal with them. So as we continue to simplify here, so we solve our quadratic equation. So either using the quadratic formula, so we substitute in accordingly. So we have 2 square minus 4 into 1 into negative 1 out of 2 into 1. So you identified a, b, and c. So either x is equal to, now by simplification, we have negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 8 out of 2. Now when you simplify that, you'll end up having x as, so doing the simplification, you have negative 1. So when you divide it throughout, you have negative 1 plus root of 2, because 8 is 2 root 2. So, or x is equal to negative 1 minus root 2. So you can place them in the calculator or you can leave them there as accurate. Therefore, our values of x, we have negative 3, 1, we have 1, then we have negative 1 plus root 2, so we are writing it, and then you have negative 1 minus. So as simple as this, you have finished clearing the number. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We are going to the next category, category 4. Thank you. Our category number 4 is the radical equations, and we have here A and B, and this is how we do them. We want to see how when you find such equations, how do you battle them, how do you solve them, and this is how we do it. Now to solve such an equation, to solve such an equation in category 4, which is a radical equation, the first thing we do is to square both sides. Why do we square both sides? Specifically to remove the square root. That's the reason. So after squaring both sides, we get to expand. So we remember from a plus b square, which is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we can go ahead and simplify. So we shall have x plus 1 plus 2 square root of x plus 1 multiplying 5x plus 1. When we simplify using indices and disadds, so we have 5x plus 1, then we have 4 into x plus 6. So that's the expansion. So we get to simplify. So we shall have 6x plus 2. 1 plus 1, we have 2. Then plus 2 square root of x plus 1 into 5x plus 1 is equal to, so we have 1 there, is equal to 4x plus 24. So when we simplify and collect like terms together, we realize that we take a 6x the other side and 2 the other side. This side we shall remain with the 2. So this is how you battle it. After squaring, the next thing is simplification. After simplifying, so we have that, and then on the other side we have 2x, then plus 22. So the 2x into a square root of x plus 1 into 5x plus 1 remains there, and then we simplify this other side. So dividing throughout by 2, we end up remaining with square root of x plus 1 into 5x plus 1 is equal to, dividing throughout by 2, we have 11 minus x. So we go ahead to square both sides to remove the square root. Now when we square both sides to remove the square root, we have x plus 1 into 5x plus 1 is equal to 121 minus 22x plus x squared. That's the expansion. So when we expand the brackets, those two brackets, we shall end up having, doing the expansion, we shall end up having 5x squared plus 6x, then plus 1 is equal to 121 minus 22x plus x squared. So doing the simplification, collecting like terms together. So as when you reach here, it means you are defeating the number already. So collecting like terms, you are defeating the number here already. So you have 4x squared plus 28x, then minus 120 is equal to 0. So it has reduced to a quadratic equation that you can battle now. Dividing throughout by 4, we shall end up having x squared plus 7x, then minus 30 is equal to 0. When you reach this point, it means you have defeated the number. Going ahead, we use any method to solve the quadratic equation, and here we use factorization. So we have x minus 3 into x plus 10 is equal to 0. So either x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 10 is equal to 0. So we go ahead and simplify. So x is equal to 3 or x is equal to negative 10. So when they have told us to solve, you get the values of x. However, you can go ahead and verify those values. If you go ahead to verify them and put them there and do the needful, you realize that they are correct. Now in this category number 5, where you look at the powers of x are in sequential and their power, the highest power is 4. So you have x to power 4, then x power 3, x to power 2, x to power 1, and then x power 0. When the equation is like this is how you solve it always. And let us dive in. Now to solve such an equation in category 5, the other one left, please try it out. And also the other numbers that I left for radical, please try them out. So whenever the equation is like that, we begin by dividing throughout by x to power, divide throughout by x to power 2. Whenever you try out there, I think there is a way things start to come out. So we divide through, so it's x power 4 over x square minus 4x power, so we divide throughout by x square, then plus 6x square out of x square, then minus 4x out of x square. So everything we divide throughout by x square. The reason for dividing specifically by x square, one of the reasons is we aiming at creating a quadratic equation. So we have x square minus 4x, then plus 6, then minus 4 out of x when you divide accordingly. So this is simplified work, is equal to 0, plus 1 out of x square is equal to 0. So we collect like terms. You have x square plus 1 out of x square minus 4x, then minus 4 out of x, then plus 6 is equal to 0. So you are collecting like terms. So you go and say x square plus 1 out of x square, then minus 4 into x plus 1 out of x plus 6, so is equal to 0. Now when we let m equal to x plus 1 out of x, specifically we let that one, and such that we can get this other one. So we get it by squaring both sides. So we shall have m squared is equal to x plus 1 out of x, everything squared. So we expand. When expanding, we have m squared is equal to x squared plus 2 plus 1 out of x squared, when you expand that properly. So therefore m squared minus 2 is actually equal to x squared plus 1 out of x. So where there is x squared plus 1 out of x, we are going to substitute it with m squared minus 2. So we shall have m squared minus 2, then minus 4m plus 6 is equal to 0. Please comment anything you want us to handle next. So we have m squared minus 4m plus 4 is equal to 0. Where you have challenges, you can reach out to me through my email. So when you simplify, we have m minus 2 squared is equal to 0. Feel free to ask any question in the comment. I'll be ready to answer it. So when m is equal to 2, we go ahead to get x. So therefore x plus 1 out of x. So we simplify this. Where you have a question, don't fail to ask. I want us to understand, all of us. So we have our quadratic equation. So we go ahead and solve it using factorization. So we have x minus 1 squared is equal to 0. Therefore our x value x value becomes 1. So the value of x that they told us to solve and get is actually 1. We meet in the last category. The last category that we are to look at are all equations that are always in this form. So it's not only this form, but it is also there are forms where the powers are fraction powers. But as long as we obey the law of indices to try to make one be in terms of the other, it is in this category. And how you are going to see it, let us dive in our last category. While dealing with this category, in this case, for example, powers are even 4, 2, and then x power 0. So we try to make one to resemble the other, the lowest power. So we can write x power 4 as x squared square minus x squared plus 144 is equal to 0. So this same thing happens also when we are looking at indices. We have equations that resemble this one. They are all in category 6. So we let p is equal to x squared. So you have p squared minus 2p, 25p, sorry. So we have 25p plus 144 is equal to 0. Rewriting it such that it is clear, nothing is squeezed. You have p squared minus 25p plus 144 is equal to 0. So that is our equation. If you remember, also in indices, we have equations that we reduce like this. So using factorization, you have p minus 16 into p minus 9 is equal to 0. So either our p, so p minus 16 is equal to 0, or our p minus 9 is equal to 0. So therefore, p is equal to 16 or p is equal to 9. So we can go ahead and say when p is equal to 16, so all those equations that we also see in indices, they are all in category 6. So applying a square root on both sides, our x gives us plus or minus 4. And then when p is equal to 9, our x squared is equal to 9. So we apply a square root on both sides. Our x becomes plus or minus 3. As simple as that, we have solved. So we have x is equal to plus or minus 4, or x is equal to plus or minus 3. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share with your friend. We meet in the next